ladies and gents? Better. Just means that you can all hear me. That's why I do that. So welcome aboard. We're just leaving Tower Pier. We will be heading upstream to Westminster. Just as we depart the pier, I have to give you a quick safety briefing. It is nothing to alarm you. It is just for your information, and it is also a requirement that we do so. So the boat you're on today, this is the Millennium Dawn. It's licensed to hold up to 500 people, and we are fully equipped with life rafts, life buoys and life jackets, and they're located around the vessel, and they're indicated with the as well as the Port of London authorities at all times. And in the unlikely event of an accident or an incident, please just remain calm, remain seated, and just listen to your crew's instructions. We're all trained and licensed to work on the river. Now, if that has alarmed anyone, the good news is we have a fully licensed bar downstairs, which of course you are welcome to use. We also have toilet facilities downstairs at the back of the boat, and any smokers can smoke on the top deck at the back of the boat. Just be careful if you're moving around the vessel. Please use handrails where provided, especially on the stairs, okay? So we do occasionally roll around a little bit. But you're in perfectly safe hands today, guys. Now, you have a few options on your cruise up to Westminster. Option one, I can stand here and give you a bit of a live commentary, tell you about some of the sights and some of the things I've learnt about the river on the way up. Or there's option two, we have a company provided machine in there. I can push play, it can talk to you, and I can have a cup of tea. So who's up for a bit of a live commentary? Stick your hands up if you're up for that. Plenty, oh goodness, okay. Anyone for the machine? Two. All right, I'll give it a go, but word of warning, I'm not a tour guide, okay? I'm a member of crew here. It's our job to get you up the river safely. So we're not tour guides, but so having said that, if I do get anything wrong, please do feel free to keep it to yourself. All right, that'd be much appreciated. I also know not everyone's first language is English. I'm afraid it's the only one I've got, so I will speak nice and slowly for you, okay? So, we better start with what's in front of us there. Well, Sid, the captain, he's taken us over to this side of the river, and in a moment we will turn to port, to the left section. That was built in the time of William the Conqueror in the 1070s, so nearly 1,000 years of history in that building. And now lots and lots of sections have been added over the years by many different kings and queens, and the building's had a lot of roles, a lot of functions. It's been a fort, it's been a royal palace, it's been a mint where they make money, it's been London Zoo, believe it or not. Currently it's home to the Crown Jewels, but most famously it is a place of imprisonment, torture and execution. Now, if you were found to be an enemy of the state, you'd have been taken through those gates there, where it says entry to the traitors' gates. You'd have been brought down by a waterman of the day, but you wouldn't have got a guided tour. You'd have been taken through there, you'd have spent your last night on earth in the tower. The next day you'd have been taken up to Tower Hill, where your head would have been removed from your body, placed in boiling tar, put on a spike and displayed on London Bridge. Now, we don't do that anymore, no. We believe in rehabilitation, of course, today. But well worth a visit whilst you're here in London. Now, over to the left-hand side, you'll see a warship there. That's HMS Belfast. Now, she's named Belfast because she was constructed in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and she was actually built in the same shipyard that the Titanic was built in, the Harland and Wolff shipyard. She first saw action in the D-Day landings in Normandy in World War II, and she actually later went on to become the flagship for the United Nations during the Korean War. Now, I've got a little fact for you. If you look at the front of the Belfast, the bow of the ship, I should say, you'll see a Union Jack flying there. That's the only Union Jack you'll see in London today. For that flag to be a Union Jack, it must fly off the bow of a British warship. Okay, so any other flag you see like that is simply the Union flag. But today HMS Belfast is a museum, so she's an extension to the Imperial War Museum. Now staying on the left-hand side, you'll see a rather tall building there, the Shard of Glass. That is Western Europe's tallest building. It stands at just over 1,000 feet, or 307 metres. Now, the architect was an Italian man named Renzo Piano. When he completed the project, the owners were so happy with his work that they offered him £1 million as a thank you. He actually turned that down, and he took the penthouse apartment instead, and 2 years later he sold that for £38 million. Wise man. He actually sold it to will.i.am, believe it or not. But today inside you've got luxury apartments, offices, there's restaurants and bars at about the 35th floor, there's a 5-star hotel, the Shangri-La, and there's a viewing platform towards the top there with some of the best views of the city. Now the first bridge we're going to go under, you'll all have heard of this bridge just ahead of us. Because as people walked across this bridge, it wobbled. So they had to shut it. It cost £5 million to renovate, and it had only been open for 3 hours. But any Harry Potter fans might recognise it. It was used in a Harry Potter film, flying over there on broomsticks. Well, on our right, the City of London school there, that's Hogwarts, folks, because that's where Harry Potter went to school. Daniel Radcliffe, that's where he went to school. And whilst you're looking at the City of London school, if you look beyond it, you'll see the dome to the magnificent St Paul's Cathedral there. That's Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. And now the dome itself on St Paul's is actually the second largest freestanding dome in the world. The largest is in the Vatican. Now you can climb to the top of St Paul's. It's 365 metres to the top, 1 foot for every day of the year, and 500 steps. So you might need your walking boots for that one. No lifts, I'm afraid. There's 2 bridges ahead of us now. These are the Blackfriars bridges. The first one's a railway bridge, and it is actually a train station. So Blackfriars station spans the width of the river, so you might see some people waiting for a train. It was used in a Mission Impossible film. Tom Cruise did a stunt where he ran across the roof. Well, the roof itself is actually made of solar panels, which powers about 50% of the station. So on a nice sunny day like today, it's actually working up there. As we come under this bridge, on either side of the boat you'll see some red pillars, and these red pillars are from the very first railway bridge that spanned the tidal Thames, designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. And if those pillars were taken down, it would actually compromise the structure of the remaining 2 bridges, so they have to stay. I quite like it though, a bit of history for us. This one's the Road Bridge. Now they were named Blackfriars because there used to be a monastery located on the north bank of the river here. Now you might notice on our right hand side there's a bit of a construction site here. Now the London Eye was actually only supposed to be there for 5 years, but it became so profitable that it's here to stay. It's said on a good day the London Eye can make around £500,000 in profit, which is ridiculous. There are 32 pods on board, and you can see at the top there, on a clear day, you can see about 20 miles, so you can see Windsor Castle to the west. Now, they brought large sections of it up the river on barges, and they actually constructed it in the river where we are now, and they raised it into position. It's a very popular place for young couples to get engaged, but you want to be pretty confident they're going to say yes, because it is a long way down if they don't. Pretty awkward that, I assume. You can also get married in one of these pods. You can have a ceremony of 20 people. Pretty busy on a day like today. Now as we turn in the river, you're going to get a really good side-on view of the Palace of Westminster there, folks. It's more commonly known as the Houses of Parliament, of course, and inside you have the House of Lords, the House of Commons, and it is where our wonderful politicians go to work, and is where they head to. You'll see a few towers of note. The furthest tower with the Union flag is the Victoria Tower. And hands up, who can see Big Ben? Hands up. You can't actually see Big Ben, guys, no. Big Ben is the name of the giant bell inside that chimes on the hour every hour. The tower is officially known as the Elizabeth Tower. but it's become affectionately known as Big Ben, of course, worldwide over. Now on the quarter hours you will hear the Westminster chimes. It's actually recently gone under some renovation work. About 4 years it was